Play looking at what remains after a counter gank from the enemy Nautilus in the bot lane. The friendly Jinx is the only survivor, and as she hides away under the safety of the tower, Morgana moves quickly through the river. She preemptively black shields into a flash ult on all three, and now watch carefully as she W's Nautilus for the kill. At a glance, I think most people in this situation would choose to keep Lucian chained to guarantee the kill because he's more valuable as the AD carry. But she realizes that Tormented Soil is still down, which effectively means that if Lucian wants to escape the shackles and stay away from Jinx, he has to take his chances and hug the wall to escape. With this in mind, she follows Annie and then turns around and fires a quick binding, which hits him directly as she finishes Annie at the same time for the triple.
Purple team triple kill.
Moving into our number 4 spot, we have Black Lotus 9 on Nami with a play to get her team back in the game. They're down about 3.5k gold, which isn't too terrible, but the game could get out of reach if they make any more mistakes. At first, this catch on Thresh looks good, but then out of nowhere, blue team shows up and Irelia gets blasted down to low HP. All of a sudden, a tidal wave comes cruising in, followed by a shockwave on 3, which groups them up for the bubble as red team collapse. They take 2 kills almost immediately, and despite the beautiful turnaround, Irelia still goes down, but they manage to burn Volibear down through his passive to get the 4-for-1 in a critical point of this match. Our number 3 spot features a type of play we don't usually show, but the ramifications of what Irelia does is massive, and to those who are newer to the game, this is the type of pressure you can bring to the table with your presence alone as a tank who is also a threat to carries. We see Raffle Euphales on Irelia has opted to flank around the back as they push to win the game. Since the friendly Corki is down, they're forced to hold them off in a 4v5, and at this point, things look really grim. Irelia uses her stun and Sheen procs to chunk Zed quite a bit, which draws pressure and forces the tanks to peel back, exposing the enemy Rise and Twitch. We can see that because the enemy front line fell back and thought their teammates would as well, it created this situation where they split up for just a moment, and that's all it takes for Leona to get in. The rack gets blown up instantly, and we see the enemy tanks rush over to Rise, and this opens up Zed again to more punishment from Irelia. Of course, this makes the Hook brothers react, and they essentially both waste their Qs, and with Rise so low, red team start to fall back. Irelia knows that if they want to keep fighting her, then backup will eventually come, so she stays within her limits. While all of that was happening, blue team had super creeps going in the bot lane. Realizing this, Irelia decides to teleport to the creep wave as the rest of her team deny ports as she finishes the game. If there's one thing to take away from this play, it's that sometimes a little presence can go a long way, and you don't always have to go in to make a big impact. Landing in at our number 2 spot, we have a brilliant team fight from Skog Monster on Sejuani. In the beginning of this play, we see the enemy team sitting on Dragon as they wait around the outside of the pit. All of a sudden, Sejuani dashes over the wall, instantly ulting them in place so that she can take Dragon off their hands as her entire team wombos them down. Everything about that play was perfectly executed. From the timing of the engage to even the follow-up from Draven's ult, everyone was at the right place at the right time to chain everything and get Fiora that quad. And for our number 1 pro play for this week,